just about lunchtime. Blast through these items and then I'll break for lunch. So we got some mildew on this thing, but it's nice that it's the original pouch for a, what do we got here? We got a stainless steel ruler. Well, that's funky. You know, that's the first time I've seen one of these that has like hardly any markings on. So I'm thinking that's a generic. Here's a General 435B radius gauge set made in the US of A. Oh, it looks pretty complete. Except that right here, there's supposed to be the holder, little holder rod. I think it might be the sterrets that don't necessarily come with that. That it might be a separate thing. But all of the pouches have a place for the holder. These I think are supposed to come with that holder, so probably is missing. This is kind of an interesting little thing here. I'll probably just keep this for myself. This is called the Grit Bit Dressing Stone. It's got what's kind of cool is on the one side you've got the stone and it's bonded to this plastic handle, and on the other end you've got a magnifying glass magnifier built in. So it's kind of cool because you can hone it and then flip it right around and get a good look at it and decide whether or not you need a little bit more love on that thing before you let it go. So that's going to be easier to take in and out if I put it this way. So I'll hold on to that. These are, what are these now? These are going to be, oh yeah, okay. This is all brand new, old stock tool steel for grinding lathe. So this is grinding your own cutters for your lathe. So this is 3/8 square. It's interesting. It says Seco or Seco. But these are made in Sweden. I don't know why that says USA. The box clearly says made in Sweden. So we got, that's almost a full box there. Here's a full box of 5/16. Here's a full box, 1/4 inch. I don't remember what's in this box. Oh, this is one of these little, almost like pin vise or pin chucks, I think they call this. Yeah, this is a pin chuck, which I actually hadn't seen one of these before, and then just recently I had one that I sold, and here's another one. This one's kind of neat because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 of the collets that go in it. So this is a 160. These are made in the USA, Greenfield Tap and Die Company. These are what are called acorn dies. So I guess they get their name from the shape, although I'm not quite seeing it. So what this is in this little box is it's a set of, supposed to be a set of 6, and there's 5 in here, but a couple more loose here, and there's another one. And then there's one in here, and this is a acorn die holder, apparently. Yeah, this says right on it, Acorn. So I guess Acorn might be the brand name. Greenfield Tap and Die also. Okay, so Greenfield Tap and Die is stamped on this holder. So that's the maker, and it's a number 1 Acorn. So Acorn must be the type of die that it is. So there you go. So I've never used this style. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this. Like I said, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess one of these would go in here. I don't know exactly what we've got here as far as sizes, but I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, look, here's a wrench that fits this. And then also what's in here is, let's see. This looks like it's a tap. No, it's a reamer. Badly damaged reamer. That's useless. Oh, look, here's something from another. There must have been another acorn die somewhere. Oh, look, this is the original box for this set, looks like. This is interesting because this was shipped to the American Optical Company Crosby Drive of Bedford, Massachusetts. The American Optical Company was located right one town over from me in Southbridge, Massachusetts. In fact, when my father immigrated to this country way back when, the first good job that he got was a factory job as a lens grinder at American Optical. So that's interesting. Special delivery. I didn't know that they had a location in Bedford, Massachusetts, but this is from Greenfield Tap and Die. And then that label is placed right over the other label that would indicate what was in this box, but there's no reason not to believe that it wasn't this, set. And then there was this laying there, and I was like, well, I'm going to grab that because I know what that is. At least I'm pretty sure I know what this is. This is a chuck, actually. A chuck that holds collets for use on a tapper. These are, I think, Jacobs Flex Chucks, these little ones. Pretty sure it's going to say it right on the side here. So there's a Jacobs number 42101 for 0 to 1/4 inch taps. So I don't know if that's going to be of any use to me or not. I'll have to see if I have any auto tappers. Automatic tapping heads is what I'm trying to say. This tool steel, this is 3/16. They're little suckers. And then in this box right here, okay, we have, this was, originally what was in here was a quantity of 6 of these Starrett 24W roller contact points. So this is back in part 1. We found this little sucker, and I set it off to the side because I said there'd be more to come on this little guy. Okay. And so what it is that I ended up finding out that not only did he have just this one laying there, but he actually had a box. So these are all brand new, still in the box, still in the envelopes. So we've got 3 left in there in the envelopes, and then there's a 4th one there loose, and then there's also this contact point, which may or may not be Starrett, I don't know. Which, this one also, when I found those random ones that were imports, this looked out of place, and I got a feeling that these two right here might be Starrett. So these silly little things are expensive. So the Starrett catalog shows that these originally were $40.50 a piece. And they currently trade for around 20 or 25 bucks on eBay. Actually, I saw new ones that sold for 25, and then I saw used ones that sold for around the same. So, these are easily worth 20 bucks a piece, being brand new old stock. All right, next up I've got this Dual branded indicator, which I've never seen before. It's looks like it's brand new, never used, in the box. It's got an extra long point on it. Yeah, that plastic is not torn open, so that's never been out of the plastic, and that's exactly how I'm going to sell it. Seems to be working perfectly fine. It's a 1/2 thousandths indicator. Yeah, it's badge Dual. Des Plaines, Illinois. It's an R31. I've never seen one before. Kind of hard with the plastic to glare to see the Dual name on there, but pretty cool. This looks like a Starrett last word. Yeah, so we got a Starrett last word. Got a couple of the components are here. Actually appears to be working fine. Just flip the lever and double check. Yeah, that's working great. It's got that yellowing that is typical when these get older. It works fine though. And this looks like it might be an old 196 set. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. 190 Starrett 196 is the back plunge style of indicator, and they still offer this today, but course, it wouldn't be in an old wooden case like this today. So this one works fine, but it's missing the crystal. So I'm going to probably want to put a crystal in that, because selling it that way without the crystals, not. Although I have a 196 without a case and without any accessories, I could just swap it out here. This is the crystal that was on there. Evidently, it had gotten near something that was too warm and melted. Got some decent accessories here to go with this. Got a micrometer wrench, which has no business being in there, so might as well just get that out now. And then got 3 more Mitutoyo standards, a 9, 10, and an 11 inch. I guess he said that he originally had one of those large Mitutoyo sets, micrometer sets, and for whatever reason, when he sold it, the standards didn't go with it. And now we got the Nutrix number 2 thread file. These are handy to have. I already have one of these, so I'll be able to sell this one. Got a couple more last words. Interestingly enough, both of these last words work perfectly fine, but both of them are missing their crystals, so it's actually kind of cool that they were able to survive. This one is really clean looking, so putting a crystal on this one would be really worth it. This one has got the little bit of gumminess to it. It's a little slow on the return, but it's very clean looking face on it, so that'd be a good one there to put a crystal on it and then maybe swap out with this set. Actually, I have another last word case with a really complete set of tooling in it, accessories in it, that needs a last word, so probably start making up some sets. Here are those 3 other sets of Mitutoyo dial calipers that I picked up off of this gentleman. This one here has a cracked crystal. It's just plastic on these. But these all work perfectly fine. So a little bit of cleanup. And what would be great is if I could get some cases for these. Sometimes I come across extra cases. Right now I have more calipers than cases. Alright, so he had a blade sitting there with just these 2 pieces and no square. So this is a Starrett center head and an early Starrett matching Starrett protractor head. I'm sorry, my mistake. This is Miller's Falls. So this center head is unmarked, but the adjustment nut looks to be a spot-on match for the Miller's Falls protractor head. So I think these are a correct pair. And then the blade, badly rusted, and the blade is a Lufkin, so it's not even the correct blade. Then we got these wedges. Okay, these are for knocking things out of Morse tapers. This is a UTD, so that's United Twist Drill Company number 2. And here's a Cleforge number 2. And a Cleforge number 1. And this is a big one. This is a W&B. I'm not sure who makes this one. W&B. Huh. Number 3. Pretty sure I have all these sizes. I'll double check. Oh, so these 3 little containers here are all marked boring bar, and they are actually little itty bitty boring bars. So I'll probably hold on to those for now. So these are marked Micro 100. So I'm not sure what manufacturer that is. Micro 100. I don't even know whether or not these are the original. Yeah, this is These are originally just end mill holders that somebody decided to use to hold these micro 100 boring bars. Oh, look at that one's different. What do we got there? That one's completely unmarked. That looks like more of a import. This is a 1/8 inch letter or number set. That's a letter set, 1/8 inch. Can't quite make out the name. Macis maybe? West Germany. And that's a complete set of letters and the and sign. Here's some more boring bars. That's a carbaloy. This is an Aloris. Oh, this is actually a nice little boring bar. I'm sorry, not a boring bar. This is a nice indexable tool. So this will go right in an Aloris holder for use on the lathe. This boring bar looks brand new. Circle Machine Company, USA. There's another one of these small ones. Insert on that thing is tiny. And some more of these regular conventional ones. Yeah, this is actually probably a boring bar. And this little package of inserts, he figured that the little tiny inserts in here probably went to one of these bars. Then we get this unusual pin vise. So what we've got is we've got a head that screws on this side to tighten down on the collet. Okay. At the other end, we have another collet. He thought that this piece had gone missing, but there's no threads on this end. So I don't think that this end was the working. I think this literally is just to store the other size collet. The idea being that when you want to switch out the collet, you have a place to put your other one. At least that's the theory I'm going by. I don't see a maker's name on it anywhere, so we may never know what the deal is on that. And then there's this little itty bitty one right here. This, believe it or not, is also a pin vise. It's very small. Get a load of the business end on that thing. It's a pretty decent surface gauge. It's got a really nice coating on it, or colorization I should say. What's interesting to me about this one is it's actually a Tomiko. I've never had a Tomiko surface gauge before. It's the first one of these I've run into. There's also this rod here, which certainly appears to be for a surface gauge. It even has the little disc on the end that acts as a scriber. But I think this is, I think he said that he had actually made this for one of his surface gauges, but it's too thick of a diameter rod to fit this one. And then this is one of those little tri-corner, what do you call it? It's one of these little carbide, deburring tools.